That railroad, it was from the Southern Mississippi Railroad, which was first through they own the property and divided from them.
Right, 6 o'clock. Everything. Call this meeting to order, the pledge of allegiance. Which stands. Tony, roll call.
Mayor Hyde,
Present.
Counselor Johnson,
Present.
Counselor Fayette, Counselor Hendrickson,
Present.
Counselor Jecker.
Present.
Okay, mayoral update. I have a little bit today. Basically, I just want to recognize the extraordinary efforts of our volunteer fire department, helping with the wildfires up near Ely. Their help was requested, and of course, they responded as they always do. And just some stats that I wanted to share regarding the 50 station. We sent out 2 trucks. 64 shifts were worked for a total of 1,124 firefighter hours. During that time, they also handled 17 emergency calls here at home. So even when they do leave our area, they make sure that we remain covered here. And I just want to recognize the hard work and efforts by our department and also by their families, because you know darn well there were a lot of family gatherings that had to be missed or changed due to their being involved. So, to all of our firefighters, your dedication is commendable and very much appreciated. Okay, next is public discussion. These will be for any items not on the agenda or items where a motion will not be made. While you're looking at our agenda, it appears that there will be motions on every item that we're ready to go over. So basically, this time we're looking for any items that are not on the agenda tonight.
Sarah Alshire, 4802 Farm Road, Long Island Shire. I have the kids because I cannot talk from home. So, and I apologize, my this is working. So I circled the bus on something that we had caught some safety violations that were happening in the city that were directly parallel to a situation that my husband had. So I'm curious what the follow-up has been. I received a message back from Counselor Johnson, but I don't know how that's been followed up on. I do know that Laurel received a response from you, and it appeared as though you said that there was no safety threat. However, the situation was identical to the point that Rosecrans was in the dump truck, Justin was in the operating excavator. They did not put cones around the truck or the excavator, but they did have 1-lane traffic after the trailer, identical. And your disregard concerns me because there isn't fairness. There was never fairness. There's always been targeting, and I just want to know what's going to be done.
The situations were not identical. As you are aware, I cannot discuss anything regarding your husband
How can you say they're not identical?
because they were not identical.
Did you see with your own eyes?
Did I see with my own
Did you
eyes?
see?
Saw pictures.
You saw pictures. Okay, can you produce those pictures in an email?
I can produce the pictures of the incident, the most recent incident.
Because I
But
sent you those
I
pictures.
cannot,
So how can you say that the other
I
incident
cannot.
was not the same? You never. Jamie, you're going off of the word of other people who targeted my husband. You believe them. You have never believed us. I can prove it. So I want to hear you say,
if you have proof, please.
okay, and then
Then I will review it.
speaking of targeting, last time I got up here and I talked about how I was not chosen out of the entire list of election judges. And I was told that it was because I took a picture. However, on the 22nd, I got an email from Tony herself who said that the clerk from Holden Township reached out and was looking for affiliated judges with my party, and that if I do want to reach out to him and go to this, and she could let him know, or, I'm sorry, I can get you your election training certificate so he knows you're trained. So why is it that I'm trained for somebody else, but I'm not competent and trained enough for Rice Lake? Targeting is the answer.
The answer would be you given cause for concern.
No, because I took that picture before the quote unquote training that she said was so important.
Mhm.
And that's not, it's a public building with a public list in a public forum. You can't tell me that that was the reason why I'm not allowed at Rice Lake, but I am allowed at Golden.
She can't speak for all she can do is pass your name on. They can make their own decision.
You look.
Good.
You look foolish, and guess what? It speaks volumes, as I've said for this entire time. And the only reason you're probably gonna get that seat is because nobody will run against you, but I promise you, your character would never win.
Thank you for your thoughts, Sarah. Does anyone else have any comments to make? If there are none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. On the agenda, we have minutes from the July 13th council meeting. We also have executed claims from July 14th, 2026 to July 27th, 2026 totaling $78,922.46. Unless there is an item that someone on council would like to pull, I'll look for a motion to accept the consent. Does that make sense?
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda as it stands.
Councillor Johnson has made the motion. Do I have a second?
Full second.
Councillor Hendrickson has seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Nice to have you back making motions. Department reports, utility update. Tony or?
So reporting for July 2026, an updated copper and lead testing site list was submitted to the Minnesota Department of Health for approval for August 2026 water set. Our updated list this time was approved. Testing will happen in August. August when we receive the testing kits from the Department of Health. We are working with the property owners, SEH and the Minnesota Department of Health to coordinate next steps for lead service line replacements that the city is receiving funding for. And there's more to come. I'm going to be meeting with Jason from SEH to kind of talk about next steps, but we weren't able to meet last week, but we'll be meeting sometime next week. Sewer. Shane completed a follow-up fog inspection during the week of June 22nd. At Boomtown, and they were currently in compliance. The manager has made great efforts to follow best management practices to meet compliance standards. We will continue to do quarterly inspections until they have made compliance for a whole year. At that time, we'll determine whether they go back onto a 2-year schedule or 1-year schedule, depending on what is decided. Sewer lateral inspections completed to date as part of our annual I&I reduction program has revealed several properties needing repairs on East Calvary Road. After sending a letter along with the inspection report to the property owners of what repairs are needed, they are working with contractors to get the repairs taken care of. So far, they've all been very, wanting to be compliant and work with us. That's been good. The AARP Community Challenge Grant, I just wanted to speak a little bit about this because it was a grant that was awarded to the city of Rice Lake that Carly had submitted. It's for $2,500 and it's basically for It's for, educating, emergency preparedness. Because as we all know, things are happening with wildfires, with natural disasters, that kind of thing. And we want to make sure that we have something, some kind of program in place where we can help people understand how to prepare for those kind of things. And Tony and I met with Cheryl Felge, from St. Louis County. She's a program coordinator on public health, aging, and adult health. And she was graciously, given her time to work with us. And she's actually going to have one of Donovan, who is also an educator with the St. Louis County. He will be at our neighborhood night out. They'll have a table with materials for people when they stop by. And we're also going to do a kind of a breakfast presentation here on August 13th or at 9 a.m. for like a breakfast and presentation that they will be doing as well. And so then we're going to try to get some community involvement to form like a committee that can also help get the word out. And so we're going to focus mostly on emergency preparedness and what people can do for themselves, for their neighbors, that kind of thing. And so we're kind of excited to get that started. But just wanted you to know that on neighborhood night out, we'll see them there and make sure to stop by.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and I do have a sample planning, emergency planning guide, so if anybody's interested in looking at it, kind of seeing the materials they put together, you know, we're definitely welcome to do that. Great. You know, that is.
Thank you, Rob.
Yep.
This sewer and water comparison spreadsheet, I would assume you've all had the opportunity to review that. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions from that, just did wanna kind of circle back to you, right? Last year we looked at the Boomtown stuff and I just gave them the motion, we get that up to where they are compliant, and so they have the for them and for us too, that they're willing to work on that.
Anyone else? I don't, we don't see any council reports. But do we have some?
Yes, and,
Okay.
we attended infrastructure meetings with engineers and staff, here at City Hall. We all attended our employee quarterly luncheon at City Hall. It was Carly's Waterloo party also, and I just want to say she'll be missed. We appreciate her 8 years of service to our city. Wish her nothing but the best at her job. I referred her to come work here and to see her go. It was tough. I struggled. But I'm happy. I've been assisting obtaining bids for projects throughout the city. This Shane's been behind handling the chloriding and grading the walls. So I've been helping put pricing together for chip sealing. So you'll see these coming through. Getting some painting bids from the county too, just to see what their pricing is compared to where our contractors that we use. And then Tony will bring forth the and siding of the Chevrolet van, so she'll discuss it.
Do you know where we're at with the chloride project?
I think we're done. There are some roads in chloride. Those roads are under construction, so it's kind of a waste for the limit. But I did ask him to chloride one of them just because we are, complaint. And he did, but just one strike down, because that stuff's expensive.
I know.
So we're trying to watch the dollars.
At our last council meeting, we had a resident with a concern on Nelson Road. Was that addressed? Culvert.
Yes. Was addressed immediately the next day. Was minor erosion from all the heavy rains we had in June. And the water runs out the resident's driveway. And then turns the corner by the mailbox and he loaded about 2 5-gallon pails of class 5. City employee was on it literally the next morning and stepped away in the video as well.
Here, thank you. Now,
That's it.
okay. Councilor Henderson,
Nothing today. Said nothing to add.
move on then. We have new business. General fees addition, I only saw one thing added, what is that?
So Zift is our online payment processing company. And so when they have chargebacks, I think they charge us $4, $2.50, okay. And what we had set was $30 for the NSF, and we didn't feel that was a fair charge to put on the customers, but we also didn't feel the city should absorb those additional costs, so we're proposing a $10 fee that covers, the charges we get from Zift, also covers, we usually have to, staff time for writing a letter, or calling the resident, letting them know, getting that new payment process, so we figured $10 was a fair price for that.
Seems fair to me. What the rest of you think?
That's a good number. Sounds reasonable.
Any comments? No, let's get the motion first. All right, so we have resolution 26-21, amending the 2026 fee schedule. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2621.
Councilor Henderson has made the motion. Do we have a second? Councilor Quaid has seconded. Are there any comments from the audience? Okay, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. At our last meeting, we briefly mentioned the fact that with Carly leaving, we no longer have an animal control officer. We still have our contract with Animal Allies, but we don't have anyone that can go out and pick up dogs or the stuff that Carly was doing for us. I asked that we think about that, maybe come back with some suggestions. The only thing that I can think of is that we have to hire an on-call person. If anybody wanted to do it. What the rest of you think?
City of Hermantown doesn't have animal control. So I don't know if they got less dogs in the population that is twice ours, more than twice. I think if we did, I bring that up just because it might be hard to fill that position. I don't know if we can get rid of that ordinance, that'd be a no question, it was just with a thought on it.
Does their law enforcement handle it? So.
I'm not sure.
Law enforcement will get involved if it's a dangerous situation. But you have a dog hanging around your house and it's just pets. No, they're not gonna spend their time. Like in the 2 instances at our last report where people were injured, then yes, law enforcement is involved.
So Polly, what are we doing right at the moment?
Well, right at the moment, I think, updated our website to note if there's an issue during the day to call City Hall. And then if there is a. Safety concern, so yeah, call 911. So if no one has called yet, but if someone did, I guess. Between our current staff, we figure out who wants to go out and see if they can catch it up.
Previous animal control officer, interested in.
I did send her an email Friday. I haven't heard back from her, but she checks her emails too. And we did get a call from someone who works for Duluth. Yes, it was animal control. expressing some interest.
Hmm.
I just haven't followed up with.
Okay. So we may have some options.
We may.
Okay, let's just table this and bring it back at the next meeting, see if we have more information.
Yeah, we used to have a regular person doing that, but the monthly cost was a little high.
Yes. Can you come up to the podium, please?
I'll just stay, that's out of curiosity. Are the qualifications of a office or patrol officer, is there, or do you have one?
An animal control officer?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, dog. So just for anybody
You have a
that,
lot of liability involved, is there like some sort of training that you give them? I just.
in the past, our animal control officer several years ago ran a dog here. And the person that followed her also has a dog here. Carly is very active in animal rescue organizations. So that's basically the extent of training per se.
What was the cost? Sure, wasn't it? Like $7,000, something.
Around that.
Yeah, yeah. Cause if, Carly would run and pick up a dog while she was working, that was just kind of covered by her wages, yeah. So, I mean, it's nice if we have someone on staff that's willing to do that.
Robin?
Yeah.
Well, one thing that was nice is Carly had like a tape reader, for somebody was, that, where, I mean, what we can do for staff right now is, because we have dog licensing, we're able to put the dog to a home if there's a license on it. As far as picking up the dog. We use the city vehicle for that, because I don't want to use my vehicle.
Right.
Sounds like we need to do a little bit more digging on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times two people will just call and say, hey, this dog's been hanging out in my house. And then it's kind of the question of, oh, do they have a tag? And we've been able to figure out who the dog belongs to, and we call them and they go pick them up, so, staff doesn't have to deal with the dog at all, so. I mean, yeah, the licensing is kind of nice to help reunite pets with their owners, but. Going and picking up of dogs.
As far as rescinding the ordinance, I personally would not support that. We have enough dogs running around as it is. If we had no ordinance against it, I think the other.
I do agree.
All right, we'll table and discuss it. Hopefully come up with some solutions. Second readings, we have resolution 2619 adopting assessment. We talked about this at our last meeting. Any further comments or questions from council? In that case, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 26-19. Adopting such as.
Councilor Johnson's made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Councilor Jekyll has seconded. Are there any comments from the audience? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Unfinished business. This is talking about the city hall garage and shed siding and roofing. We have the quote there from Ed Holman Construction. Tony, what is that donation piece to this?
He kind of threw that in there. We didn't specifically talk to him about it, so in my recommendation to not exceed $30,000, that doesn't include that. But we also know we have some vents on the roof. I don't know, somebody called them the whirly bird vents, which we want to get rid of and just put a standard ridge vent in there. So there may be some additional costs for removing those and repairing them, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Ed Omen has donated a lot of different stuff to the community, so I think that was just his,
They were not breaking any rules by accepting a donation of this nature.
no.
I do know that they're moving away from those turbine exhaust
Yeah,
fans.
yeah, turbine is better.
Yeah. Just going with the ridge fan first.
Any other comments or questions?
Reading or did we get any competitive bids on this with the amount over $10,000?
We did, we got one other one from, Anderson Building and Restoration.
I think it was higher.
It was higher. He was also proposing vinyl siding. I think that was a good option for it, so. Okay.
Ed Owen is recommending steel on the roof and siding.
Yeah, a lot of the wood is rotting around the garage on the base, and so we wanna get something on there that's durable. That could take a little weed whacker hit every once in a while, and it's fine, and just be back there in a few years. I talked to both contractors. We want detail on it all. With Ed saying that he would do a donation, I told Ed, I said, let's get through the project, because there might be add-ons to the project that maybe you can help us. And that's why Tony did it not to exceed. And there might be something that might have to get fixed,
And then it'll be brought back to council.
if it's over
If
the
it's there to be, okay.
But my guess, if we add on a few things, he'd probably take that as the donation portion. So I didn't wanna say, hey, add, want that donation. I wanna make sure God gets paid.
Right. Right.
And we have this in the budget for this year for improvements, capital improvements, right?
It's not in the budget, but we do have a category of capital improvement.
Yep, yeah, just our general capital improvement has a cash balance of 111%. So that's kind of an account where if at the end of the year, we did spend our full budget, we would deposit money into those accounts for unplanned expenses. So the motion would be for, approving the quote and authorizing those funds to be used for it.
I was tasked the project in 2023. And it's just drained because we thought we'd have enough staff to do it in the winter and stuff. And before you know it, we don't have enough staff, and it's 3 years later, so.
Is that why this is on finished business? I don't remember. I feel like normally don't we talk about it twice? And then
Yeah, we talked about it in the
Last meeting.
finance meeting.
Oh, I wasn't there, that's why.
Yeah, so since you weren't there. Do you have any more questions about this?
I guess if I had noticed, yeah, no, that's fine, I just wanna.
Yeah.
I guess I was expecting someone to talk about it, so I can know about it, but. That makes sense, we're talking about the finance movement.
And one of the things, you asked about it being in budget, and as it stands, no, it is not budgeted. Budget. We have the money in the budget for it. It's not necessarily taken for this. And our thought when we talked about it before was, yeah, we could wait and do it next year and then have it in the budget. What it's gonna cost for a year and a half. So since you have capital funds available, why not do it now?
And is the garage at a point? Where it needs water, so lines, so it's kind of.
It is, the snow is blowing in, and then the water has run out the side.
Thanks for getting me up to speed. Just so everybody knows, like, a metal roof is more expensive than your shingles. But it should last longer. And I do kind of like the piece that it does match. Kind of what's on this building. So it is more expensive to do the metal roof. But I kind of look at it lasting longer and matching it, so it all kind of looks the same. I'm okay with spending a little bit more, which is Again, it's all in that general capital improvement account, so I am okay with that.
Any further comments or questions? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda item report. In our 26th point. That'll then go up to, but not to exceed $30,000.
Councilor Henriksen has made the motion. Do we have a second?
Also,
Councilor Corrigan has seconded. Are there comments from the audience? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Last on the agenda is next month's calendar. Council, we have a busy month here. Let's not forget, the first Tuesday, the 4th, is our National Night Out. You all have to be there to help make room for your floats. And we'll be tarred and feathered.
Thank you.
It's in your city charter.
5 or 5:30 start.
It starts at 5:30, but we generally have crowd in front.
Yeah, so get there as close to 5 as you can. I'll get there earlier because we need to get the table set up. I need some of you burly guys to get that. Can't go right here. It's nice. On the 10th, Monday the 10th, the city council. Don't forget the primary election, the 11th. On the 17th, we have our first budget meeting at 4 o'clock. On the 18th, we have a variance hearing. That does not require anyone other than to us, along with the rest of the BOI. Following that is planning and zoning. 6:30 on Wednesday, the 19th is the MIC. And at 6:30 on Thursday, the 20th is Duluth Area Township. Where is that going to be held this time?
Don't remember for sure where that was.
That was at the jail. Is this at the jail?
Okay, I don't remember if the last one was there or if it was this one here. I'll check it now.
Okay. On Monday, the 24th, we have our second budget meeting at 4 o'clock, followed by our 6 o'clock council meeting. Wednesday, the 26th is the third budget meeting at 4 o'clock if we need it. I think last year we finished up in 2 meetings, but have that as a cushion. And then on the 31st is the WLSSD. Yeah, all right. Unless there's something else,
The 31st, I can't remember, I had asked you about the mayor talks, was that the conflict of necessity or? Was that something you could?
and the following Monday is Labor Day, isn't it? I don't go to the WLSSD meetings,
So it's not no. Okay.
so let's. Need to make a note of that. I was thinking that is the beginning of a month, thanks, yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I did look at my dad meeting here. It is August 20th, 6 p.m. jail. Over to, if anybody wants to go to the public can come. Mr. Ramos can join us. The jail on the 20th.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So.
Meeting adjourned. Oh yeah, you have the record.
Very good, so meeting.
Overclaim.